last two videos, we first discussed how to access the book Writer Designer, and then the second video was about reflection. And now we move to your reflection, your Unit 1 reflection that you'll complete by Friday. So uh, on Blackboard, you'll see that under assignments, you have Unit 1 reflection. And I'm telling you that the assignment description is on pages AU 16 to 17 from Writer Designer. So these are the two pages, AU, and if you click here, sorry. This is AU 16, okay? Just to make it short. And then that is due by the end of Friday, the 25th. Now, let's go over the assignment. I'm going to read it, I'm going to explain what it means, and then this is it. You will write your reflection. So, in our course, we have specific key terms and key concepts that we focus on throughout the semester. These concepts or these key terms are meant to help your writing, develop your writing, help you become a more intentional and more reflective writer as you make your way throughout the course. So in Unit 1, we focused on reflection and audience, if you remember. We kept talking about the audience of your literacy narrative, who you would like to read this narrative, who you think will benefit from reading this narrative, who you think will be interested in reading this narrative. And according to your choice of audience, you started including the details that your audience would need to follow your narrative and to learn the message that you're trying to deliver in your narrative. We also talked about reflection. As you reflected on your past experience, you came to understand that there was some lesson that you learned from that experience. And then you started thinking about, okay, this is a lesson I've learned, how that literacy and how that lesson are going to be useful to me in college. And this is the reflection part. Remember what I just said, what I just discussed in the reflection video about being reflective means to think about your thinking, to think about your writing, to think about your writing decisions and what you're learning on the go. Now, let's go to the prompt. Develop a 300 word minimum, so it can be longer, but it shouldn't be any shorter because, not just because I'm interested in the word limit, but if you write any shorter than that, I don't expect your reflection to be actually a reflection. It's going to be just like description of what you did, not thinking about what you've learned. That addresses all of the questions in the list below. While you may use any or all of the key terms, especially audience and reflection, for Unit 1, we would like to focus specifically on audience and reflection. An effective response will likely include examples from such sources as your own writing. So if you use the specific details in your writing to appeal to your audience or to reach your audience, include these details. If you would like to give an example of the language you used in your assignment about the lesson you've learned or something like that, then include this as an example in your reflection. Classroom discussions, anything that we've done in our discussions on Slack and the conversations you've had with your classmates in the past few weeks on Slack. Assignment guides, if there is anything in the assignment handout, in the assignment prompt that um, helped you with writing your assignment, go ahead and do it. Class readings, specifically what we call mentor text, and in this case it was Shelley Reid's 10 Ways to Think About Writing. This was our main reading and Sandra Giles' reflection. Be sure to take time to explain your thinking because this is how you engage more in reflection and become more reflective. Now, these are the questions that I'd like for you to address in your reflection. What did you learn about your own writing habits and yourself as a writer during this writing project. I don't want you to think more about procrastinating. I want you to think more about what you actually learned by doing this writing, by revising, by reading each other's narratives, by giving each other feedback and reviewing, by reading my feedback. What have you learned about yourself, about your own writing habits? You can include something about procrastination if this is something that you think has changed or has hindered your development as writer, or has made it became clear to you that procrastination is against your development as a writer. So like, just think about your writing habits that actually go into the writing project. Name one thing from one of our reading assignments for this project that helped you or got in your way. So, something that really appealed to you or made you think, or both, of course. For example, if something from Shelley Reid's 10 Ways to Think About Writing, the 5 sections that we've read, specifically the ones about details and adding sensory details and visual details, vivid detail that engage your reader and help your reader see what you're trying to say. If this is something that helped you with your writing, then maybe mention it and give some examples from your own writing that this is how you use that. On the other hand, if something got in your way, if something was like a stumbling block for you, or something that really um, uh, you didn't like, you didn't understand, and it kind of like made you hesitant in your writing, again, mention it. This is part of your growing as a writer. The third question is, what is a writing strategy that we've talked about that you use to help you write in Unit 1? Explain why you chose this one and why you think it was so effective in completing your writing assignment. For example, the brainstorming, the drawing, using a paper and pencil and just like brainstorming and planning your assignment. Was that helpful? Asking you to think about the revision plan and what you would do. The peer review. Did any of that help you with your writing? What has focusing on audience consideration taught you about writing? How can you apply this to future academic or non academic writing situations? As I was just talking in the reflection video, what is it that you're learning from this assignment, from paying attention to audience, that you may take to other writing situations, either in your personal life or in your other academic courses? And then the last question, and this is one of the most important questions for me, is what has reflecting on and writing about a past experience taught you about writing and about yourself as a writer? How can you apply this to future academic or non academic writing situations? I hope by the end of each unit you have understood more about yourself as a writer, yourself as a reflective writer. So think about what you've learned in this unit about yourself as a writer, what you can or can do, what you need to improve on, what you've actually made some strides towards improving and being really skillful with it. So think about these, and the more important thing, think about how you're going to take these understand this new understanding of yourself as a writer to future or to other writing situations, because at the end of the day, we hope that this course will give you something that you can take beyond that course, that whatever you're going to learn in this course won't be limited, won't be restricted in the confines of the 15 or 16-week semester that we spent together, but you can take something beyond that course to other courses or to your non-academic writing. So these are the questions that I hope you will address in your reflection. Your reflection is due here on Blackboard, as you can see, on Friday the 25th. Let me know if you have any questions. And now we'll switch gears to Unit 2, and I'll have the videos up in very shortly. See you.